Got it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening again. This time, podcast number of episode 26. And maybe you saw this week, I'm going to make a bold move. I'm not announcing it in this podcast, but stay tuned for my Instagram, or maybe you subscribe to my newsletter. There I will share my bold move. It's very changing. It's changing everything, but I'm really excited, and I totally feel on everything in my gut feeling that I have to make this decision. But I'm going back to my bold move. But today we have a lovely guest. It's Roberta from
Hi.
Great Things. Hi, Roberta.
Hello.
It's nice having you here. Can you introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I have to say I didn't tell you before, but I'm very happy to finally meet you because I've been following you for a while. I don't remember since when, to be honest, but I know you. So finally, it's nice to meet you. I'm Roberta. I'm an Italian-based food photographer, born and raised here. So I'm 100% Italian. Even though I communicate in English with my followers. So I've been doing this for 4 years, probably from 2018. And I'm a food photographer, food stylist, recipe developer, food blogger, whatever. I do a little bit of everything. So when a client comes to me, I can do from the recipe development to the cooking and the food prop styling and food photography and editing, which I think it's what most of us do right now, because the job of a food photographer developed, I think, during the years. I don't know what you think, but right now food photographers are a little bit different from what they used to be. I don't know if you agree, but things changed.
Do you think you still have the possibilities to also do the cooking, the groceries, the styling and photography, or do you mean only the styling and food photography?
No, I mean, the job right now really changed, probably because of the blogs thing these past few years. And I also want to say, though, that it's not mandatory that you're a food photographer and you have to do the styling and the cooking. It's just a plus, I think. So it's not mandatory again. So I never want people to worry about the fact that they cannot cook, they cannot style. Of course, styling really helps, in my opinion, because you have the opportunity to touch the ingredients, to know them better, also to enhance them in your photos. But the cooking, if you don't know how to cook, I mean, it's not a huge problem. I think you have beautiful subjects. What?
I'm not a cook.
See, and you do beautiful photos, so it's not a problem.
Now people ask often, or sometimes they are surprised to the cooking part, and no, it's not having my heart thing, So when I'm working for a big assignment or something like that, I work with someone else who's doing the cooking. It saves much more time also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it takes time to do everything, to cook and style and do everything else. So of course it's I think it's I don't know how you say it in English, but double-sided maybe, because from one side, when a client invests in a package like this, they have everything in one person, almost everything. At least an assistant would be nice to have. But on the other side, if one person does the job, it will take more. So it's always you win on one side and you lose, let's say, from the other side. But yeah, anyway, I started in 2018, officially photographing or investing in food photography.
2020?
What?
When did you start it?
2018. I invested in my first course, but I started photographing in 2016 when I started my blog. And then in 2019, I officially started my my business. So yeah, it was a path. Yeah, but yeah, I was born as a food blogger first,
Yeah.
and then I decided that I should have focused on food photography because the food blogging world is huge. So you really need to, I know it's much more difficult to stand out. So I invested in a food photography course, and then I kept investing, and here I am now.
And when did you get your first client for a food photography assignment?
It was in mid 2018. No, sorry, it was well, the first real client, let's say, it was in late 2018. But I had another one before that, and it allowed me actually to pay for the first course that I took. So it was really nice, but it was one time. It's not a client that I still have. The other one instead is a client that I still have. And it was nice, actually. Yeah, it was nice because I reached out almost randomly. It was one client that I collaborated with earlier, in the earlier stage of my blog. We did a giveaway when I could, because right now I can't here in Italy to host giveaways. But yeah, we did a giveaway, and I asked them, would you love to sponsor it? They sent the product. And then a few years later, in 2018, I told them, do you want to collaborate? And we collaborated. This time they paid. Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice.
And what did you say? You can't do collaboration in Italy?
Yeah, no, legally it's not that we cannot, but it's very difficult. Yeah, I don't know the details, but I cannot do what my friends on Instagram do, like you do, or others do. We cannot give prices. The only thing in Italy that we can do is offer a price to everyone. So, for example, a discount to everyone that comment on your photo, but not just one winner. That's the law.
Okay, I didn't know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard you saying I did reach out.
Absolutely.
Because I often tell that to my students as an advice, as a beginner food photographer, just reach out to clients, because even if they don't know that you exist.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I always encourage my students as well to reach out, because you never know what they want. You never know if they have a photographer. You never know if they have a photographer, maybe they need something else. And it recently happened to me, even though I still had to sign the contract, but it happened to me that I reached out. They told me, we already have a photographer that does the photo, but then we need this other thing. It's a print that they want. So hopefully I will shoot the photo and they will print it. But it's something behind the scenes, let's say, that you don't know unless you reach out. You don't know that they have that project. So you never know what can happen. And I must say that by reaching out, the most satisfying, I would say, jobs happen to me. So you never know, really. You never know, literally.
No.
Also following up.
Yeah, exactly. Because although they wouldn't react the first month, maybe they're coming back to you in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that also happened to me. Absolutely. I reached out, it was 2019 probably. I reached out to a brand. It was around March, I think. And around August, September, they came to me with a couple of projects. So it was paid projects, I mean, so it was really nice.
Yeah.
And also, I told you before, following up, because not recently, actually, last year, I reached out to a brand, and a few weeks later, probably, or a few months later, I don't remember, I reached out again. I follow up, not for the first time, but I mean, I kept following up, and they told me, it's good that you followed up, because right now we have this project, and if you didn't follow up, we couldn't have known that you were there for us, basically, if that makes sense. So always follow up. Yeah, you never know, really.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're also talking about your students, because could you tell us more about, you have like a mentorship / program?
Yeah, I have a program. I used to do one-on-one coaching sessions in 2020. Yeah, I started a couple of years ago, but then I realized that 1 hour, 2 hours, most of the times they were not enough to cover a series of topics, let's say. One-on-one coaching sessions are amazing, I think, for when you have a doubt or a question. So very specific doubt or question. But then if you want to know more, I think that programs like mine or your workshops and everything, they are much more effective. So I decided to create a program which is 12 weeks long to give plenty of time to students. It's 5 modules. We talk about mindset, we talk about light, colors, we talk about composition and food styling, of course, editing, which is my obsession, and the business side of photography can't be missed. But yeah, and it's 12 weeks because I give my students 2 weeks per module. So they can practice, they can watch the videos more than once, they can practice. And I have to say that I'm very proud of them because they made huge improvements. And I'm like a mom with their kids. I'm very proud.
Yeah. And is the program in a group, or they can just follow it alone?
No, it's better if they follow it like 2 weeks by 2 weeks, so they stay on track, let's say. And it's a group program right now. The first time that I launched, it was one-on-one, but then I wanted to try the group program. And I must say that it's even more effective because when you're in a group, you can take advantage also of other people's questions, other people's doubts, and they are very enriching. I think the group calls that we have every week, because we have weekly calls with the group, they are very effective, because when you don't have a question, another person has a question, so it's win-win.
Right. And you're also, so it's a combination from also, because of course I saw something from the behind the scenes, like you also made some videos about food styling.
Yeah, there are a lot of theory videos, let's say, but also I really care about demonstrating more on the food styling, the editing, behind the scenes, also in the light module, the light and color module, composition. So I really like that they see what I do behind the scenes, like how to practically do that. Because of course it's not like an in-person workshop where you can see the photographer, but at least they see a video of the behind the scenes. And I don't know about you, if you love it, I think you do, but I love seeing other photographers photographing. It's amazing.
I really love it. I think I started very fast with teaching, but before I was a food photographer, I had also a company in creative workshops, so I already did teach people. And I believe if you love something, it's your passion, you can just I mean I can talk endless.
I know what you mean.
About photography, but also the business side of photography. And I think lots of people often forget it, that okay, then you can make a beautiful food styling setting, but then you have to get your clients and how does it work, and all the business side, of course.
So it's I thought about the program as a complete program. My goal was, of course, I think that you never stop investing. I still invest. I think that you still invest in programs because we never stop learning. But I wanted this program to be like the one and only huge investment, because it's not a cheap course, of course, but the last big program that you invested in. So I tried to put everything that I could into the program. Like, it's very rich That is why I give my students 2 weeks per module because it's very intense, but they are amazing. They are amazing also because they all have jobs outside food photography. So yeah, they are full-time or part-time. They have full-time or part-time jobs. So they are, I must say, they are amazing.
Yeah. And how often do you give the program?
That's another thing. I launched 3 times last year. So early 2021, mid 2021, and then I launched at the end of 2021. Right now, because I will have an in-person workshop in March, because of the summer and everything, I will launch later 2022. So this year I will launch 1 time, probably around September, August. We will see.
And you're organized in person, so like an offline workshop in Italy.
Yeah.
Sounds
We
great.
have a workshop with Sam, frosting with fettuccine.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it will be amazing because we've been programming this for 2 years and a half. So it's, because of COVID, we postponed and postponed. So it's nice to finally do it. Yeah, it would be like a pregnancy.
Sounds great.
2 years.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just going through my questions. How do you find your way to stand out between the other food photographers? Because I think the market is grows a lot with other food photographers, and on the other hand, for us as a teacher, it's great because lots of people want to learn about it.
Yeah.
But what is your advice also to starting food photographers to stand out and not to compare yourself with the other photographers? It's a common thing, but
I think that you said it. First of all, do not compare yourself to others, especially because, like I tell my students, it's true that we are more and more food photographers, but it's also true that if you think about it, with the pandemic, a lot of companies went digital, so there's much more also work on the internet. So for digital purposes, I mean, for website, Instagram, Facebook, etc., and especially deep down, we are all unique. So if you take a photo, Lucy, and I take the same photo, it will always be different. So I think that you have to really think about, you have to practice, and with time you will understand what makes you unique. For example, in 2022, I decided that I want to market myself as a food photographer specialized in brown food because I love brown. I love editing browns. I love photographing browns. So I decided, why not trying at least to reach out, for example, specifically to chocolate brands, coffee brands. You can be specific. Another example, it can be if you really like, I don't know, working with produce, you have the opportunity to work with a lot of different types of brands that are focused on fresh produce, herbs, I don't know, spices. There are businesses that do these things. So, and you have to find deep down what you really like, because we all have that thing, I think. So it's not, I would say that we don't have to worry that much, because even though we are a lot, we are more and more. And also there always will be people that will give up, unluckily. So if you don't give up, someone else is going to do it. So you have to be strong and go on, because unluckily a lot of people give up, but we don't have to.
No,
because also businesses need us. So
and it's going, it's not only a flow, my experience. It's with how do you call it in English? It's like the waves, sometimes you're up and then it's
absolutely.
Oh gosh. And then my problem is often that I often have new ideas and then I want to change
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
and offer my students other things. But I think I totally agree with you that you find your niche thing in food photography where
Yeah,
you can stand out.
yeah, yeah. And even though maybe at the beginning, because it's not a thing that you realize immediately. I mean, it took me 4 years to realize that I really like browns and I really want to focus on that. And it's also that from now on, I won't work with just brands that make brown food. Of course, I will have other clients, but if I can focus on something, that is the thing. And but it takes time, and it takes you have to experiment. You have to allow yourself to experiment. You have to give yourself time. So it's not that you start photographing and you immediately know that you're going to focus on that.
No.
But yeah, again, there are a lot of photographers that give up. So if you stay strong, you will have the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also nice to talk about it, because I can imagine if you're just starting out, you're like unsure, and maybe you
Yeah.
also, because I think you make beautiful pictures. Really get also inspired from your pictures, especially when I look at the composition, or just I get inspired by your pictures.
Beautiful. Thank you.
But I also can imagine that other pictures, maybe I often tell my students, you can like if they have a picture from you, for example, you can not copy the picture, make the same setting, but it will always be different.
Yeah.
But then you can realize, oh, she's putting the knife over there and this way, and then you realize, oh, maybe she's have a specific reason doing that.
Yeah.
And I was last week, I was away with my boys in La France, and I was thinking, well, maybe sometimes you have to stand out also to do something totally different. So when I was playing a lot in the beginning from my food photography journey, I did freestyling every week, and I suddenly have this image in my head. I had a really big brocante plate, and I filmed it also like in the slow motion. And I just let it drop on the ground, and it was broken, and people were really shocked because it was a beautiful plate. And then I did a food styling from cherries on this broken plate, but it was different. Why don't break it, or just sometimes break out, not follow every rules.
Yeah. Also, yeah. And it's the thing about inspiration. I think it's a hot topic. Yeah, because I always encourage my students to, of course, be inspired by other photographers, but also by a lot of other things out there, like nature, architecture. Recently, we bought a house, which is something that I'm telling you right now because I didn't tell on Instagram. So yeah, we bought a house. We bought a house, and I'm very inspired by interior design. It's been a few months actually, because I started seeing pictures about kitchens, etc. So it's very inspiring also to see at interior design, the texture that you see on the cabinets, the materials, I don't know, it's very nice to take inspiration from this and that. But if you take inspiration from others, I always recommend that you do it with your own touch. Yesterday, for example, I saw a photo from my student, one of my students, ex-students, and I saw the photo and I didn't think that she copied. I mean, I told her it's a beautiful photo, and then she told me it was inspired by your photo, but I didn't realize it because she did an amazing job with putting her touch, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can be inspired, but you need to add your touch. you need to, interpret that photo that you've seen in your own unique way. Also, because if you copy, people are going to see it. People are going to notice.
Yeah.
Because I remember, for example, if I see a photo, I remember if I've seen a photo before, it can happen sometimes. Because, for example, I took a photo once, and after a while, like in the back of my brain, I thought, this is too similar to another photo that I've seen.
Yeah.
But it was not intentional.
No.
It was in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I've never posted that photo because later I realized that it was very, very similar to another photographer's photo. So I prefer not to post the photo because it was maybe, even though it was not intentional from my side, maybe people thought this is too identical. So yeah, and I really like to take inspiration from others, but never copy, because it's not a nice thing, I think.
No.
And also you can really be inspired maybe by the type of light that they are using, the composition.
Yeah.
I very often get inspired by color palettes. That is something that I really get inspired by, but always give that photo your touch. Yeah. And also go outside and see what nature can offer, architecture again, books, things like that.
Yeah, and just doing something different than only focusing on food photography. So I think it's really important to sometimes just let go everything of it and just what you're saying, just go outside, enjoy your free time. And then I often make photos from pectorals, from balls, but I think you're indeed getting inspiration through other things.
Yeah. Also from really random things. I need to take a photo, and I have been thinking about it for more than 1 year. It's just that I cannot find that specific vegetable. I cannot find it, but it was inspired. This photo that I have in mind, it's inspired by a sculpture that I have here next to my house, but I cannot find the vegetables, so I cannot take the photo. Yeah,
I think it's so funny because we food photographers often have an image in our head.
Yeah,
we want to make it.
Yeah, I always like to visualize the photo. It really helps me, actually. When I don't have a vision, it's a little bit more difficult, to me at least. So when I have a clear vision, it's much more easier.
Yeah, and sometimes it frustrates you because the picture isn't like in your head. I hear it often from my students. And sometimes it turned out much better than you thought.
Yeah, also, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So for this year, you're having a new house. And do you have how do you see yourself in about 1 year? What are the things changed or?
Oh, wow, good question. Actually, I tend to think about maybe the upcoming months, but not 1 year. I don't know, actually. I will be in the new house for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, I will have my beautiful little studio. But I don't know. I want for sure host more in-person workshops. That is what I would love to do. We will see how it goes, the ones with Sam. I think it's going to be amazing because it will be a 4 or 5 days workshop in Tuscany. So it will be really amazing. But then I think that I would love to have more in-person workshops. Yeah, with more people or one person. I don't know, but it would be nice.
I really love it because I often do it, and of course through COVID it wasn't allowed. But now next week I have my 3-day food photography camp here in my studio for 3 days. And I think I held it in, I think like 3 times a year, but it's so great. You like in a bubble, all with sharing knowledge, and the people are enthusiastic, and I really love it.
Yeah, especially because the people that I know, maybe they don't have other photographers friends. So it's nice to, gather and talk about photography and talk about props and our obsessions for props and backdrops and light, etc. So it's not common that you have other photographers as a friend. So it's really nice. Like in-person workshops, it's really nice because you have the chance to talk with other photographers or people that love photography.
I can really relate to that you can have a chat with someone else about, oh, that's a beautiful plate.
Yeah, exactly, that they know the obsession.
I don't buy clothes anymore, I'm only buying plates.
Yeah, that is me too.
Oh, great. So when do your workshop is with Sam?
The in-person workshop?
Yeah, with Sam?
It's on, wait, because I always forget about the exact date. It will be on 27th of March till April 1st. So it will be a few days.
Will you tell listeners if they are interested, how they can book you a spot?
The workshop is sold out. It's been sold out for many months, actually. No, absolutely. We had to pre-sold, actually sold immediately the workshop, because otherwise, it's pointless if Sam comes from the United States. So it was sold out. The first time that we launched, it was sold out in 24 hours or 36. So like it went sold out like this. We had to postpone. And then the other launch that we did was sold out in a few days. So luckily we will have 10 amazing women.
Oh, sounds great. And where can people find you if they want to know more about you?
You can find me on Instagram, Healthy Little Cravings. You can find me on my portfolio if you want to see some photos, which Lucy is going to write, because I'm not going to say it in
show notes,
my voice, because otherwise you cannot understand me. On my blog, if you want to see some recipes, healthylittlecravings.com. And for the rest, I do the one-on-one coaching sessions every once in a while if you have specific doubt. And then, like I said before, in later 2022, I will relaunch the program for sure. So that is for everyone that want actually to bring the photos to the next level, to attract more clients. Because I think, back to what we were saying before, also that if you keep investing to increase the quality of your photos, then you have a slight more chance to also get even more clients. Because the more you raise the quality, also the more you can raise the prices.
Oh, great. It was so nice to see you and talk to you, Roberta.
Me too.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, I will write down all the information about Roberta in the show notes, so you can press on the link if you want to follow her on Instagram or read her and visit her website. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dear listeners, next podcast, I think it will be this weekend, and I think I will review my my bold move, because I'm Lucy and I just can't wait, and I'm just do it is my motto. But for now, have a lovely day, and bye bye, Roberta.
You too.
Bye.